There comes a moment in life when disrespect knocks at your door. It might come as a harsh word, a dismissive tone, or an act that belittles your worth. And in that moment, everything inside you wants to react. But here's the truth. How you respond to disrespect will define more about your character than the disrespect itself. You cannot control what people do to you, but you can control what you never allow yourself to do when they try to tear you down. When someone disrespects you, the first instinct that rises inside is retaliation. You want to match their tone, their insult, their energy, almost as if proving you can fight back will restore your dignity. But here's the danger. The moment you stoop to their level, you are no longer leading the moment. You are reacting to it. You've handed over your power. Disrespect thrives on reaction. It feeds on your anger, your outburst, your loss of control. That's why people who disrespect you often want you to explode, because then they can point to your behavior and say, see, you're no better than me. When you match their disrespect with your own, you validate their actions and lower yourself to the very place they wanted to drag you. Real strength is restraint. Real power is refusing to let someone else dictate your character. When you choose not to mirror disrespect, you are not being weak. You are being wise. It takes far more courage to remain calm in the face of provocation than it does to hurl back insults. Silence, composure, or even a measured response from a place of calm shows that you are not shaken. Think about it this way. When a dog barks at the moon doesn't bark back. The moon shines, unbothered, steady, untouchable. That's how you must carry yourself when someone disrespects you. You don't stop shining because someone else is blinded by your light. By refusing to lower yourself to their level, you protect your dignity, you preserve your peace, and you send a message without ever raising your voice. I am not who you think I am more. Words have weight. They can build you or they can break you. When someone disrespects you with cruel words, the danger isn't simply in hearing them, it's in carrying them. Many people don't realize that disrespect becomes most damaging not at the moment it's spoken, but when it finds a place to live inside you. When you internalize someone's words, you take ownership of something that doesn't belong to you. Their insult, their criticism, their dismissal, it comes from their perspective, their pain, their insecurities, not from the truth of who you are. Yet if you let those words echo in your mind long enough, you start to believe them. You replay them when you're alone. You measure yourself against them. And slowly, their disrespect shapes how you see yourself. You must remind yourself daily, what they said is not my identity. Just because someone calls you worthless does not mean you have no worth. Just because someone says you'll never make it does not mean your future is limited. What others say about you is a reflection of them. It is not a definition of you. Think of it this way. When a person throws mud at a diamond, the mud may cover the surface, but it never changes the diamond's value. Wipe it away and the brilliance still shines. Your value is intrinsic. It doesn't decrease because someone fails to recognize it. Never internalize disrespect because doing so gives someone else authority over your self-worth. Protect your mind like a fortress. When those words come, let them pass through you like wind through an open window. Acknowledge them, but don't hold on to them. Ask yourself, do I want to make this voice part of my identity? If the answer is no, release it immediately. Disrespect says more about their wounds than your worth, so never let their brokenness become your belief system. The greatest defense is to root yourself so deeply in your own truth that no insult has the power to stick. Disrespect doesn't just sting, it ignites. The moment someone belittles you, dismisses you, or insults you, a fire rises in your chest. Your heart beats faster, your voice tightens, and everything in you wants to react instantly. That's the danger of disrespect. It pulls you into a trap of emotional reaction. Here's the truth. When you respond in the heat of anger, you are no longer in control of your words or your actions. You speak from your wound instead of your wisdom. And words spoken in rage often become regrets you wish you could take back. How many relationships have been destroyed? How many opportunities lost? How many reputations damaged because someone couldn't resist the urge to strike back too quickly? Silence in that moment is not weakness, it is wisdom. Pausing is not losing, it is leading. When you step back, breathe, and allow your emotions to cool, you regain your power to choose. You move from being reactive to being intentional, and intentional responses carry far more weight than emotional outbursts ever could. Think of disrespect like bait. The disrespectful person is waiting for you to snap, to lose your composure, to hand them proof that you're no better than they are. But when you resist the bait, you rise above the trap. You show that your dignity is stronger than your anger. Even science confirms this. When emotions run high, your brain's logical center shuts down. You literally cannot think clearly in the middle of rage. That's why waiting, whether it's 5 minutes, an hour, or even a day, is one of the most powerful tools you have. Time gives you perspective. Perspective gives you clarity, and clarity gives you the ability to respond in a way that aligns with your values, not just your emotions. Never let someone else's disrespect control your behavior. The most powerful person in the room is not the one who shouts the loudest. It's the one who can stay calm while everyone else loses control. Choose composure over chaos. Choose dignity over destruction. Because at the end of the day, no one ever regrets holding their peace, but many regret unleashing their anger. Disrespect has a hidden agenda. It doesn't just want to offend you, it wants to reshape the way you see yourself. That's why it cuts so deeply. When someone mocks you, dismisses you, or treats you as if you don't matter, their behavior plants a dangerous suggestion. Maybe I am not enough. Maybe I don't deserve better. Maybe they're right. But here's the truth you must hold on to. Your worth is not up for debate. It is not a prize handed to you by other people. It is not measured by someone else's opinion, their approval, or their recognition. Your worth is intrinsic, unchanging, and untouchable. Just as gold remains valuable, whether it is displayed in a jewelry store or buried in the ground, your value does not decrease simply because someone refuses to see it. Never allow disrespect to rewrite the story of who you are. If you let it define you, you give someone else the authority to shape your identity. And once you internalize their narrative, you start living smaller, doubting yourself, and shrinking to fit inside their perception. That is how people lose their confidence, their voice, their dreams, by letting another person's blindness dictate their reality. You must learn to separate their actions from your identity. Their words tell you about their character, not your value. Their lack of respect reveals their limitations, not your inadequacy. It is never a reflection of your worth when someone fails to treat you with honor. It is always a reflection of their failure to recognize what is valuable. Imagine a priceless painting. Whether someone admires it or spits on it, its value does not change. The disrespect says nothing about the ART. It says everything about the viewer. You are that priceless creation. You do not lose value because someone else refuses to see it. Never forget, people's treatment of you is a mirror of them, not a measurement of you. The moment you decide that disrespect does not define you, you free yourself from the prison of other people's opinions. You stand taller, you reclaim your narrative. You remember that your worth was never in question, it was only under attack. Every act of disrespect carries pain, but hidden within that pain is also a lesson. The problem is most people only feel the sting and never search for the wisdom. They get caught up in the offense, replaying it again and again, but miss the deeper message it was trying to deliver. Disrespect is often a revelation. It reveals the heart of the person who gave it. It tells you who values you and who doesn't. It shows you who is safe for your trust and who is not. Sometimes disrespect is the mask slipping off, showing you the truth about someone you thought you knew. Other times it's a reminder that your boundaries are too weak, that you've been giving too much space to people who don't deserve it. Either way, it is never wasted if you allow it to teach you. Think of disrespect as a mirror. It reflects not your flaws, but the reality of the person standing before you. If someone disrespects you repeatedly, they are teaching you how they truly see you. If they dismiss your value, they are teaching you how little they are capable of recognizing worth in others. And if they cross your boundaries, they are teaching you where the line must now be drawn. But here's the key: you cannot receive the lesson if you stay stuck in the wound. If all you focus on is the insult, you remain in the pain. But if you shift your focus and ask, what can I learn here? What is this moment showing me? Then even the disrespect becomes a stepping stone. You may learn patience, resilience, self-respect, or the courage to walk away from toxic connections. Some of the most powerful growth in life comes not from praise, but from pain. And often, disrespect is the very catalyst that forces you to grow stronger, wiser, and clearer about what you deserve. So never walk away from a moment of disrespect empty-handed. Carry the wisdom, even if you leave the wound. Let every insult sharpen your awareness. Let every dismissal refine your boundaries. Let every act of disrespect remind you of the importance of surrounding yourself with people who see your light, not try to dim it. Because the greatest revenge is not matching their disrespect. It is learning the lesson, rising higher, and refusing to ever be the same again. Disrespect doesn't just hurt in the moment, it lingers. Long after the words are spoken or the action is done, the memory replays in your mind. You rehearse what they said, how they said it, and what you wish you had replied. If you're not careful, that pain hardens into something far more dangerous than anger. It hardens into bitterness. Bitterness is like a seed. It doesn't look destructive at first, but once planted, it grows quietly. It takes root in your heart, wrapping around your joy, choking your peace, and slowly altering how you see the world. Before you know it, you're no longer just hurt by one person's disrespect. You've begun to distrust everyone. You close yourself off, expecting offense everywhere and carrying resentment like a shield. But here's the truth. Bitterness does not imprison the one who disrespected you. It imprisons you. They may have gone on with their life, never giving the moment another thought, while you're still carrying the weight of it months or even years later. Bitterness makes you a prisoner of someone else's behavior, even when they no longer remember what they did. That is why you must never allow bitterness to take root. Release the offense before it takes hold. That doesn't mean what they did was okay. It doesn't mean you minimize the pain. It means you choose freedom over bondage. Forgiveness is not about excusing their behavior. It's about refusing to carry the poison. Think of bitterness like drinking a cup of venom and expecting the other person to die. The longer you hold on to resentment, the more it corrodes your spirit. The more you nurture the grudge, the more it drains your energy and robs you of joy that belongs to you. Choosing not to be bitter is choosing to be free. It is declaring, I will not let this moment of disrespect define my future. I will not let this wound turn into a wall, and I will not give anyone the power to poison my heart. The most powerful act of strength is not retaliation, not even silence. It is release. Release them not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. So guard your heart. Refuse to water the seeds of bitterness. Replace them with seeds of wisdom, strength, and self-respect. That way, even when people disrespect you, they never succeed in destroying you. Disrespect is something none of us can escape. At some point, it will show up in our lives through a harsh word, an unjust action, or a dismissive tone. But what truly defines us is not the disrespect itself, but how we respond to it. Each time we face it, we are given a choice. Will we let it shape us, shrink us, and harden us, or will we use it as a stepping stone to rise higher? When you refuse to lower yourself to someone else's level, you protect your dignity. When you refuse to internalize their words, you guard your identity. When you resist reacting in the heat of emotion, you preserve your wisdom. When you do not let disrespect define your worth, you stand firm in your unshakable value. When you search for the lesson in it, you gain wisdom others often miss. And when you refuse to let bitterness take root, you choose freedom over chains. Disrespect will come, but it does not have the power to control you. You always hold that power. Stand tall, stay rooted in your truth, and let your response show the world that no amount of disrespect can dim your light. Silence can be wise when it prevents you from reacting in anger, but silence becomes dangerous when it allows others to believe their disrespect is acceptable. When someone disrespects you and you say nothing, not once, not twice, but repeatedly, you send an unspoken message, this is okay, you can continue. And over time, what you tolerate becomes the standard for how you are treated. Boundaries are not about control, they are about clarity. They don't punish others, they protect you. They draw a line and say, this is where my peace ends and I will not allow you to cross it. When you stay silent about your boundaries, you allow others to write rules for your life that were never theirs to write. Expressing your boundaries doesn't mean you need to argue or raise your voice. It means calmly but firmly declaring what is unacceptable. For example, I will not be spoken to in that way, or if you continue to treat me like this, I will step away. These statements are not about confrontation, they are about respect. They tell people that your dignity is not negotiable. Here's the truth. The people who love and respect you will honor your boundaries, even if it takes time for them to adjust. Those who consistently ignore them are simply revealing that they never valued your presence to begin with. Either way, speaking up gives you clarity. Never confuse silence with strength. True strength is being able to articulate your worth without apology. Boundaries are not selfish, they are sacred. They ensure you do not abandon yourself while trying to keep others comfortable. So never stay silent about your boundaries. Your voice is your shield. Use it not to fight, but to guard the space where your dignity, peace, and self-respect live. Disrespect has a sneaky power. It doesn't just wound your feelings, it tries to rewrite your identity. When someone belittles you, mocks you, or dismisses your value, it plants seeds of doubt. Maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I don't matter, maybe they're right about me. And if you are not deeply rooted in who you truly are, those seeds can grow into self-doubt, insecurity, and even self-sabotage. That is why you must never forget your true identity. Who you are is not determined by the opinions of others. It is not defined by the words they speak, nor is it erased by the way they treat you. Your identity is anchored in something far greater, your values, your character, your purpose, and your unique worth that no one else can duplicate. When disrespect tries to make you small, remind yourself of the truth. You are more than their labels, more than their insults, and more than their limited perception of you. Their vision of you is blurred by their own wounds, but your identity is crystal clear when you see yourself through the lens of truth, not through the mirror of their disrespect. Practical steps help anchor this. Write down affirmations about who you are. Surround yourself with people who see and celebrate your light. Revisit your achievements, your strengths, your progress, and your resilience. Because in the moments when disrespect tries to overshadow you, you need reminders that you are already enough. Never forget, people can misjudge you, but they cannot redefine you. They can try to silence you, but they cannot erase your voice. They can attempt to diminish your worth, but they cannot take it away. You are not what they say, you are what you truly are. So when disrespect comes, stand tall, return to your truth, and remember, forgetting who you are is the only way disrespect can win.